Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Things are getting very, very interesting. What goes around comes around. Rigathi Gachagua today escaped very narrowly in Limuru constituency, Kiambu County. He had attended a burial ceremony there where things turned chaotic, and Rigathi Gachagua, the perceived Mount Kenya kingpin, had to run for his dear life. A kingpin being chased away like a burukenge. Before we dig deep, let me say this. Political violence in any form, whether against your opponent or your ally, has and must be condemned. We saw some forms of violence in Embu when Ruto was heckled. Rigathi Gachagua and his team celebrated. In fact, Rigathi, immediately after Ruto was heckled, he said he warned William Ruto against touching Murima, but Ruto never listened. So Rigathi and his supporters did celebrate when William Ruto was heckled in Embu. After the Embu incident, Rigathi get crashed an event, a music event, and what followed were chaos. His supporters celebrated, saying Rigathi is very popular on the mountain. In this forum, I did explain that it's very wrong for any politician to get crash other people's events. His supporters have been celebrating all these hecklings. Today was Rigathi Gachagua's chance, and he had to run for his dear life. And I'm seeing his supporters crying everywhere, condemning that incident. So when violence is meted against them, they are condemning it. When violence is meted against their political opponents, they are celebrating. He who lives by the sword dies by the sword. There should be no double standards. If violence is bad, we should condemn that violence, whether against our political opponents or our allies. And today's incident should be a very strong lesson and a warning to Rigathi Gachagua and his team that going forward, they should stop all these hecklings we are seeing on the mountain. If they feel they are not in agreement with any leader, they have the right to recall that leader. If they can't recall that leader, let them wait till 2027 to vote out those leaders. You don't prove a point by constantly heckling other leaders. Each and every person has a right to his or her opinion. So today's incident should serve as a lesson and a strong warning. The mountain has been restless, and this restlessness on the mountain started even before 2022 presidential elections. We started seeing hecklings on the mountain even before 2022 presidential elections. And I'm seeing the hecklings are still going on. Is the mountain going to heckle till 2027? When will they get service delivery from their leaders if all they are doing is to heckle? Let's have a look at these videos, for they are going to inform the basis of our analysis right now. Have a look at this.
Aliyekuwa naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua amewasili katika uwanja wa shule ya upili ya wavulana ya Bibilioni Kiambu, ambapo amehudhuria ibada ya mazishi ya kijana mmoja aliyekuwa mfuasi wake sugu. Kijana huyo anakisiwa kuuliwa na nduguye kama wanavyoeleza wanafamilia za mwenda zake. Gachagua ameambatana na kundi la wanasiasa waliochaguliwa akiwemo seneta wa Kiambu Karungo Thang'wa, mbunge wa Limuru John Kirago, mbunge wa Mukurweini John Kagusha, aliyekuwa mbunge wa Limuru Peter Mwathi, miongoni mwa wengine. Hata hivyo, mbunge wa Limuru amejitenga nao, kwani alionekana kuketi kando na viongozi wengine wanaomuunga mkono Gachagua. Kwa sasa mshukiwa wa mauaji ambaye ni nduguye marehemu ametiwa mbaroni, huku familia ikitaka afanyiwe uchunguzi wa kiakili kabla ya kukabiliwa na mashtaka ya mauaji.
Ikaendelea vizuri mpaka aliyekuwa mbunge wa huku Mheshimiwa Mwathi kwanza kuongea, ndio watu wameingilia ile hema yenye ilikuwa na naibu wa rais wa zamani, wakaanza kuipiga kwa mawe, kwa vyuma, wakaharibu hema, wakaharibu viti, wakaharibu vyombo vya habari na magari mingi sana. Pia kuna majeruhi wenye hatuwezi taja ni wangapi na magnitude ya majeraha. Tumeghadhabishwa na hilo jambo sana. Tunaombea familia kabisa, na pia tunaomba msamaha kwa wanafamilia, sababu hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza tarajia jambo kama hili linaweza tendeka katika shughuli ya mazishi ya mwenda zao.
Nafikiria magari ni mingi, hatuwezi kuhesabu kwa saa hii, lakini mojawapo ni ya the former deputy president. Gari yake imeweza kuharibiwa vibaya sana. Magari za wabunge ambao walikuwa wameandamana na Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, ya senator na pia ya marafiki wa familia hii, magari zao zote zimeweza kuharibiwa, hema zimeweza kuangushwa, viti zaidi ya viti 1000 zimeharibiwa, zote zimevujwa zikabaki kama pieces.
Tukaanza kuona za ile Mheshimiwa wa Limuru aliyekuwa kwa kiti ambaye ako kwa kiti amekuja akakataa kiti ya VIP, amekaa kwa kiti ambayo hastahili kukaa. Tukawa suspicious, tukajua hapa si pazuri. Akaketi pale kwa wahubiri. Kwa hivyo mimi nikaona kweli hakuna vile protocol ya MP mwenye amechaguliwa anaweza kubali kwenda kukaa kwa wahubiri, aachane na hema ya VIP yenye imelizaviwa.
Let's put all that into perspective. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. From those videos, it's clear there was tension even before the chaos started. The area member of parliament never sat at the dais, but sat with the mourners. And that's very interesting. The former member of parliament of that constituency sat on Rigathi Gachagua's immediate right. That's former Limuru member of parliament, Peter Mwathi. So a former member of parliament is sitting at the main dais just by the former deputy president, while the incumbent member of parliament sits far away with the mourners. And then on Rigathi's left, we are seeing the Kiambu senator. So it's very clear there was tension even before chaos started. That's coming out very clearly. We still remember that in Embu, Rigathi never sat at the main dais, but he sat with MPs far away from the main dais. That's exactly what Limuru Member of Parliament Chege Kiragu has done today. And we can easily conclude Rigathi set a very bad example to these leaders. What Rigathi did in Embu is what this Member of Parliament has done in Limuru. So tension was evident. And it's also coming out clearly to me that Rigathi is becoming a problem on the mountain. And that's something I keep on repeating in this forum. Every event Rigathi Gachagua attends ends up in chaos. And that spells doom for Rigathi Gachagua, in that Mount Kenya residents will now not be inviting him for such occasions because his presence brings chaos and troubles. So Mount Kenya residents will not be inviting Rigathi Gachagua for such occasions, and that only means Rigathi Gachagua's influence will diminish. It's incumbent upon Rigathi Gachagua to make sure that his events are peaceful. He should control his supporters. They should not be heckling at Rigathi Gachagua's political opponents. If they continue heckling, they'll actually be served from the same dish to that they are serving their political opponents on the mountain. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis, where we are going to have a look at some very shocking posts being shared by Rigathi Gachagua's allies. Was that an assassination attempt? Or did Rigathi Gachagua organize the violence for sympathy? Let's meet in our next analysis, where we are going to answer all those questions. We are in a game of politics and anything is possible. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.